Yes, today is a big day for me. To me, I'm going to say that. I always say that every day is a big day, but today is a special day because I am going to welcome my one and only DDC Capo Daniel is going to be here in the studio with me. And so, Capo Daniel, our DDC, please, I welcome you to the studio. I welcome you to the studio. I welcome you to the studio. Oh, Papa. So, how are you doing? How are you doing, Papa? Hey, DDC.
Fine, fine, Mama Najella. Fine and happy to be
Oh,
here again. For the second time, I'm
yes,
invited. I'm honored. I love your show so much. You know me, I like people the way they flow
yes,
naturally, where they need to do corny.
yes.
So for me, this is home.
Mm.
I really like your show
Oh,
so much, including what you do on
well,
social media, defending your children, defending your country, standing for the truth and the value we hold so strong. You know, for our country, plenty people they know if you get that power for stand that heat where they come from Cameroon, their agent. You know, they get these nasty people, they more like Kunyam titles, all the rest them success Congo, they will go right dirty with the hope
yes.
say good people then like you, they go run away, they go abandon the struggle and then make what people then remain for this perpetual state of slavery. But because of people like you don't stand that gap, say you know go run, you go take the heat and you go give fire back to fire while people then get hope. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Papa. First, before we begin, I get first congratulations for your recent appointment as the spokesperson of Ambazonia Governing Council by President Cho Ayagba, and the subsequent confirmation from the National Governing Council. Congratulations again, Papa. Congratulations
Thank
once more.
thank you very
I
much.
will.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm honored to have one more cap to my many caps. Now I'm the spokesperson of the governing council, and you know the Ambazina governing council provide leadership for the liberation. So to an extent,
Mhm.
for our nation and our liberation movement, I stand that gap to serve with humility and with pride as well.
Congratulations once more, and I wish you tremendous success in your new role, Papa. I wish you success, and I know you will make it. You are good at it. Yes, Papa.
Thank you.
Section one. I'm going into sections and section, but it is somehow striking to see how things are done in the Ambazonian Governing Council. You were appointed by the president, and that was not enough. Letter and your credential had to go through the security of the National Council for approval or rejection or request for the information or conditional approval. Most people focus on Dr. Ayabacho, but there are other independent center of power in EGOVC. Can you briefly dissolve our doubts on the roles of one, the cabinet or cabinet advisory, the National Council, and the Council of Missions? Can you tell me about those three, those differences?
Oh yes, you know, in Ambazonia would not be used to say they just wake up and make announcement that I appoint you for year, appoint you for day. People they need to be sure if you do actually go do some work or not just title or the leader they don't choose people anyhow. But for the governing council, not be say they the president we you get three centers of power for the Ambazonia governing council and I say be set up by the constituent member the way they be gather, the nationalists the way they be gather form this strong institution. It will be controlled by the Ambazonia Governing Council Charter. They get their charter. It be published in a public document. Any man will not get time. If you contact me, I will send them for you me read them. So for there you get, I think now for the ordinances, I think ordinance 37, it describes the three centers of power. You get the cabinet, will be headed by the executive branch, by the president of the governing council. Then you get also the national council. The national council now a supervisory body. It be different from the council of mission. You get the council of mission where now the various diaspora community then get their president and then they represent for that council. They call an council
Yeah.
of mission. I think it be headed by
Mission
Divine
supervisor.
Naka.
Yeah.
Divine Anaka. Now it be the head. It be not be the cabinet they choose the president they choose the person for the. That means that the various diaspora community they get their leader they represent for the. But it be different from the body when they approve. It is like a senate. They call it a national council. Because you know, say even amongst the diaspora, people that physically take position not just because they them push people them. They physically do some kind of thing for go for day. And sometimes too, they need to be competence, like what you see for IG, where this country head them, they do be in a hand clapper, and then they follow na popularity. Chris Ano talk say, you know, see they go Sako, so one they do follow it blindly. They start turn the coach their former leader. All those things them because they're not getting a law way they control them, not just popularity and how perception. But for the governing council, inside the people the way they live that mission council, they get not the supervisory rule, but then get accountability rule. That means say the governing council, the cabinet, and the defense be accountable. If you ask questions, if you get information, all those things. But the body way now you get supervisory rule. Now the national council be headed by Mr. Khan, Frank Ngo for Canada. That body it be made up of highly qualified nationalist people and people the way they get longevity and strong backbone for our nationalism. Now selected people them way the national council, the council of mission, they don't select them based on their track record, based on their stamina and their character and their knowledge about our history and these deep things there. So now the end of the day, now they get the final say. They like a senate will be separate. So you get these three different body. You get the cabinet led by the president. You get the councils of mission led by your own president, and then you get the national council. So
National
whatever
council.
the one group it do, if the one other group is council, that means say if the president and the cabinet take a decision, that decision will be rejected by the national council or the other one. So even they appoint you, the cabinet president choose you for appoint you, he need for submit that application for that appointment for the national council. The national council will look and find whether you qualify, whether if you do the job, whether they engage on suspicious things for come. They will contact, they work together now with the councils of mission, and then they will come back for you. Just like when I say for America, they will interview you, for you talk,
Yes,
wait you
that's
go
what I think. I'm
do,
thinking about that. Yes.
ask you question then,
Wow.
and then for my case, because you know they within for they send me question them and then I answer them for them. So you know it been a live
Yeah.
answering, but at least they get that time to go through
Mhm.
that process. So it is safeguard say me no man no those can enter penetrate we begin get information the way you know if you get them and a very nice process and I think some people that appreciate them also. Me when I know if
Yeah.
I do I but Joe if you do we call appoint person. And if I
Mhm.
so because now I get for the position I know say I be backed by the whole organization. So the president of they use me like a mouthpiece anyhow.
Mhm.
I get I
Mhm.
feel stand to a challenge and also I get people my back. So every office
Exactly.
for the governing council, it gets strength. No man no do they say if you the president will vex with you, he will fire you
We will
or
fire you.
anyhow like that. No, you need to work that way. Even if you do and so they will call you to order because organization and the way they see strong
That's
passive inside the
democracy.
go. Yes. But now a strong leader, now best way to inspire we it bring all the organization together because you need people like that. But definitely the organization gets strong institution there. I mean solid institutions.
Wow. That is great. Me self will be a member. I know that details. But thank goodness for enlightening me. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Papa. Thank you very much. I will go for number two question. You were you were dispatched abroad by the AGOVC around the middle of May 2022 to attend a peace workshop in Cambodia. Can you tell us more about this conference? Okay, one is that why was the AGOVC invited? Which other stakeholder attended? There are many, but I'll just give you that. Why were?
Yeah, I think all the Amazonian nationalist factions were invited. The IG Care, even Sako was invited. The group of Chris Ano were invited. Everybody was invited, and this one it did like a mediation company also for Asia. They call it CPCS. A very powerful organization, and then it be backed also by Mediators Without Borders. This one doing mediation country them. I mean, you talk this one a mediation company they engage even for North Korea. Their problem with America, so they get a very strong background and a solid background. But the purpose where they be invite the Amazonian leadership for this particular workshop, now a workshop, no be a process for mediation, no be a process of negotiation. Now for give we resourceful people them, for help we equip we, and for make a make we eye them be open for a lot of things that already go on for the international community. And now also an opportunity for we Amazonian for really grab and for meet up each other face to face, because if we there for diaspora will be scattered around the world, and then a country an organization
Yeah.
like this then be willing for bring we together for get a workshop, very rich workshop, and we get a lot of connections due to that. We'll be connected with some people then for Indonesia, so on them for Philippines, so on them for that country itself, for the former Khmer Rouge party. So that be highly connected. It can benefit we a lot, and then we'll get one-on-one conversation with those organizations then too. We help with already get a lot of good understanding with them. And then the Amazonian Governing Council also will be send me on a mission, because for we will be seeing like an opportunity also for engage the various faction the way they will be represented today one on one with specific details and way it will discuss and address privately. So and if it disclose them, it will be very, very successful and very, very fruitful. I think say all the other faction the way they know come for day because of one reason or the other, they don't miss a lot and they don't miss a very big chance. You see somebody like the Yerima of IG Care, the person who don't come under heavy criticism from me, and it be that make very serious messages challenging my personality, even try to direct public rage towards me unjustly and the organization. But there, you see, say them bring both of us within this inside the same place. We greet each other, we hug each other, and this is somebody I know growing up. Yerima is like a brother to me. He's like an elder brother. We grew up together, and we know each other. We worship in the same church. His younger brother was my classmate in the university, my classmate from nursery school, primary school, secondary school. We were together in BHS. We left there. We came to St. Paul's, and then we go to University of Chang together. And
Wow.
so even though
You've
we
come
are
a
in the
long way.
struggle, we have different, yeah, we have
Differences.
different backgrounds. It gets heated, and it shows how genuine we are. We get a serious meeting with the IG there, because we don't get serious of meeting for you before with other executive members of Germany. So it will be a time for me to really present to you a lot of things in our intelligence and the differences between both groups. It was very heated at times, and even in that general meeting, it was very,
Let,
very heated.
let me
I
go
don't
for the
lie
second reason.
with the smiles and all those things. It was serious heat, but
Serious.
at least
Do, 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 do-
we came after with hugs. We came after with
yes.
hugs, with
Let
smile,
me
and we
ask
will
you
continue
something.
the conversation.
Do,
Yeah.
do the organizer of this conference really knows and understand your liberation journey? Do they understand it? The
Oh,
organizer.
yes,
Yeah.
they do. They know our struggle. They have one of the organization, the leader. She's called Shadia. This lady, she's from Indonesia. She's a former fighter. She has worked with the United Nations. She's gone to Harvard University. I've never seen so much things in one person. She's like the she's very, very educated woman, very smart. She has studied Amazonian struggle for 2 years. I mean, she
Wow.
has studied it. She knows me very
Wow.
well. She knows what I do on my No Conny Talk show. She knows my evolution. She knows Sako. She knows Dr. Chuayaba. She knows Seseko. She knows everybody. I mean, everybody. And it gives them, when you talk to Asian, it's different. Like, Asians, they relate with Africans better.
Yes.
They don't come with that glass with white people where they don't connect. They look at you like a victim and they are different. And
Mm.
the Asian come across very well. And then you have people there from Australia, you have people from America, different people. But I was glad to see that an Asian organization, because I'm an Asian American, Asian
Asian.
African,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see Asian being engaged in this level and the dedicatedness, their sympathy for our people and our struggle, and for them to try to introduce us to these resource people really shows you that these
Yeah.
are people who are just out to see how they can help. Honestly, they are really people who are trying to help. So it was really
Yeah.
good experience.
It comes. It has the outcome of this conference title, the policy position of the AGOF C in the final phase of the liberation of Amazonia.
Oh
I think.
yes, the lessons we brought back from that conference. I in my briefing with the governing council, it was very rich and everybody was inspired. The history from the Cameroon, their struggle, it was a very big bad part of their history that we can learn, and then we correct those type of things we can see along our way, so that the place that they fail, we can better, we can avoid it. Then you have the people of Aceh. They had a good negotiation. They had the HG was involved in their negotiation. So I learned a lot of things about the HD and then that conference and how it ended. And then we can learn on how not to the type of mistake we should not make in negotiation, and the type of things we should
Mm,
avoid, the red flags and the green flags, and the opportunity that you may see in negotiation and that we miss because of we are angry and other stuff like that, and type of compromises we can consider and type of compromises we should not consider. So we learn also from the Philippines, because the guy from the Philippines is now I think he's a parliamentarian or something like that there. So we learn a lot from him, and then from their experience, they also advise us based on that. It was really like you go through. Hey, well, I don't how I can explain, but it was very inspiring. And the result that is that the governing council have reaffirmed their vision, have had this new material to enrich the organization. So it was very successful. Even for us, on a side basis, for us, the biggest success was meeting the other groups. We met the other groups, we talked to them. There was a lady who represents victims of the struggle. So I had a one on one with her. You wonder why Amazonians will be representing victims here. And she's not on videos or pictures. I asked her, "But how could you be attending conferences on
yeah.
behalf of Amazonia and you are hiding your face? Nobody knows you." So we also confront those people in that conference. Like, we are in a war. Everybody that is supposed to be around anything concerning negotiation, mediation, should be party to the conflict. So, and there was this
Exactly.
lady there, a very nice lady. She cares really much about the victims of this struggle. She's a victim herself, but she's hiding herself. Like, I'm like,
Hmm.
why are you here if you are hiding yourself? This is a conference where you meet people from other movement, and I have to tell the public, because I'm here with an eye of the public. Whatever I see, the public can have access to. And we did not take picture. We have she's in some of the pictures, but these are some of the things that Amazonia needs to know. That there are some people
Some
who
people who
are around
cares.
negotiations there.
Yes.
Yep.
For
It's not my
us.
choice, but and I make Chaps. Mark
Hmm.
Chaps, a guy, nice guy. We have a beer together. We go and swim in the swimming pool. It was nice time to meet a young man like me in the struggle. Yeah, we had a lot of things to discuss about communication, about what he's doing. He's a lawyer too in Canada. There, he's a state prosecutor, a very fine young man. I met the guy from Gojidinka's movement, Edwin Gang. Oh, that guy is
Okay.
an encyclopedia. It's like a library.
I
He
need
has
to
so much
interview him.
knowledge, so much accounts. I've read about his
Yes.
father, who was supposed to serve
Yes.
as a policeman in the mobile wing. So we had a lot of conversation, and then our engagement as a governing council, we had some agreement that we came up with, which is what we want to push about the whole issue from the sovereignty of Amazonia to
Mm-hmm.
our struggle
Mm-hmm.
based on the sovereignty, the best adopting this and stuff. It was really fantastic. It was a great thing.
Let me let me ask you, what are some of the risks in engaging a peace process with no appointment opponent? I mean, with no opponents, with little of no firepower on the ground.
Yeah, we also
What are
find
some
out
of the
that
risks?
you
Mm-hmm.
can even have firepower and then you go for negotiation. Like the people in the Philippines, they have the Samaro people. They went into negotiation. They were very powerful. They show us video of the weapon. That guy himself was a fighter, was a commander. They had so many weapons. They had made bombs. They had connection from other areas in the world, have given them a lot of weapons. But the Philippines asked them to go to negotiation. The world international community pushed and you must negotiate. When they went to negotiation, they had arrangement for ceasefire and everything. They actually gave up all their weapons. They gave all their weapons and there was a peace.
Mm-hmm.
And after they
Oh,
gave up their weapons, now the Philippine government took that agreement to the court, in the Supreme Court in the Philippines, and the Supreme Court said that agreement is unconstitutional and it cannot be accepted. It's cancelled. So the people were now, oh, the Philippine government offered us, they had like a special status or like a semi-independence. And now they have given up their weapons, they cannot fight. Then the country now turned around and said that arrangement was wrong. They cancel everything.
wrong.
So how can they do in that case? So they are in a
Absolutely.
very difficult situation. So
Difficult,
they share their
yes.
experience with us, and
In
we have
that
to
you
know
always
if today we are
order.
fighting, we get into negotiation, Cameroon, we are making any agreement, we have to consider that that agreement we can have with the people who are negotiating, they take back to La Republic, and Paul Biya just pretend and put it that he want to pass it through his parliament or senator or the court, and then they just cancel it and say this thing cannot happen. And what will you do? Maybe they have arranged and some of us
Not,
have returned back home. Then
yeah,
now the
they've
war
whole
start
lot
back
of,
again and then they come back for you.
yeah, no,
You have to have firepower. You have to have
yes,
guarantees. You should not lose your leverage. And for
yes, so
groups who
Papa,
go for
true.
negotiation without anything to offer, they should come out of invitation of those who have the firepower. It should be the Ambazonian Governing Council and the major groups that can say, okay, this group have been helpful, this group is engaged, this one have been helpful, then they can be on that negotiation
Come
table.
together.
But
Yeah,
when you go to
yeah.
negotiation table, you find people who have created groups. Call this one
Mm.
called entanglements here. This one will go and create his own group. Then
Yeah.
they'll be the one running there
Excuse
to go and say that we
me.
want to negotiate. It should not work
Yes,
like that.
and then negotiate, come out of
Those who are
nothing, come out
fighting,
with nothing.
yes,
Mm.
those groups who are representing the firepower, those who are holding the struggle together, speaking on behalf of that struggle, championing the cause, should also be the ones championing and leading negotiations. They should lead everybody into it, not that people will come there and meet them there and start arguing with them.
Let me I say, how is the Center for Peace and Conflict Studies different from the Swiss process? How is it
Okay, this
different?
one is not, let me say, this one is not a process. It was a workshop. But the
Or
Center
workshop, yeah,
for
you
Peace
saying.
and Conflict Study is open for this type of process. They are doing it's a study. They are actually studying our case. They are not finished yet. They have engaged, even studying La Republique. studying everything, and they may choose to engage or not. Depends on the condition they see. If they see this thing is favorable, they may engage. If they think that they can go in, they may engage as well. But they have not started any process. This is just
Okay.
contacts with our people, engaging us, trying to help. And there are many organizations like this in the world. There are many. Some have approached us. People don't know about
Okay.
many. So, but when
Yes.
a group like
Mm,
this one that is highly respected, engaged even in North Korea, struggle, when they show interest in Ambazonia, that should be something we should appreciate.
yes. Yes. Wow. The CPCS claimed on their website that their approach is anchored on the principles of demand-driven interventions that addresses the requirements of the stakeholders and the undaily causes of the conflict. Was La Republique represented at the conference, or was there any enabler or blackleg representing La Republique as a stakeholder in the Amazonian liberation?
No, it
Ready?
was not. It
Oh,
was not a negotiation. So we did not go
yes,
there to negotiate.
yes,
It was not
yes,
a
that's what
dialogue.
you said.
It was a workshop.
Yeah,
So
I
there
keep
was no
bringing that
black
up.
leg
So
there.
you should bring it
I
to
must
our
clarify.
people to understand.
Yes,
Yes,
I'll talk to me
you
Oman
keep
here.
clarifying.
No black leg, no be
Yes.
day. Like public no be come for day because that meeting you know be being for negotiate for bring two sides together. It will be meant now for bring Ambazonia and their leadership them together. Now the thing that will be meant for bring no be for bring with La Republic together more negotiate. They never reach to that stage. They just engage. They study, and their more they be very
Okay.
good because for them they no go take any process or start any process if they no believe say it will solve the problem,
Problem.
and they really
Okay.
believe am. So before the one even do something,
That's good
they
news.
need to meet up all people, then all the side, not be only Ambazonia, including La Republic. Make sure say if they stand for this thing saying that their own processes, it will work. It will be accepted for all sides. So now say that it work. And it be very, very
Okay.
admirable. Very admirable. You know, they
Yes.
like they
It's
just come, then go take now some con man.
like Swiss. That
Fix it for
yes.
your own side. Fix it, give it own small color
Yeah.
nut. Give it own soya.
The,
Then they
yeah.
bring in now, begin push it for front. The
Yes.
life Amazonian them know these are very honest people. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I was very happy because they come across like very genuine people. They are people who have been where we are. They have been in war. They are so they know what they are doing.
Okay. The second question is, when you look at the published on May 18th, 2022, from the Secretary General of the Amazonian Governing Council, you will notice another organization that was present at this conference. Mediators Beyond Borders. Who are they?
Yeah, I think mediators without beyond borders.
Borders. Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
It's a very
Beyond Borders.
powerful
Yeah.
organization.
Who are
Beyond
they?
borders, it's a very powerful
Mm,
organization. They are very highly connected. I think these are people that we should consider very seriously, and the fact that they were involved in this process shows us that it is a very very good prospective partners with Ambazonia in terms of mediation and possible negotiation. We could interpret that they also saw what the CPCS is doing and they think that they can throw their weight behind it. So they were one of those big organizations that were behind the scene. So we really think that not everything we have to say on social media,
mm.
but our people have to know that this was not a process; it was a workshop, and the weight behind these organizations are very good. there are organizations that our organization is getting to appreciate, and there will be follow up conversations and things like that. Beyond that, there is not much we can say to the public right now, but we want to just say the Mediators Without Borders are a solid organization. They can speak for themselves. I don't need to speak for them. Same as the CPCS, I cannot answer questions for them. But I speak for the governing council that our communication with them come across like people we
Of
are
real.
considering as
Yeah.
serious people. Yeah.
Real people. Yeah. Okay. Let's turn over attention to ground zero. That this is section 3. Okay, we turn to ground zero. Mundi Regina was rescued from the custody of our forces. It was shocking and perhaps embarrassing, and a lot of Amazonians were flourished. Some commented that this woman is on exile for life and never returned to Amazonia. You have explained and to the Amazonian people the details of what happened, but let's look at the other side. What lesson, what lessons were learned from this event? What lessons were learned from this event?
Well, to all the Amazonian people, I want to bow my head and say we apologize that we failed you people in this issue of Mrs. Mundi. We are very
Mhm.
very sorry. Our people have gone through a lot. They have seen how the Cameroon government have cheated them. Even when we came into this union with good heart, the Cameroon they turn it into annexation. They cheated us when we saw hope in the SDF. We voted for Fundi. They cheated us, and this woman was in the center. They found ballot boxes that were stuck in her house, and Fundi sent people to go and burn her house. I was one of those people who mingle among the vanguards, and we know that it was an order from Fundi because they have said that that woman was involved in that election rigging. We did all those things, but that woman is protected, and she rebuilt her house. She even becomes more prominent and become
Mm.
member of the technical below of Mr. Pobia, one of the only so-called Anglophones who can meet Pobia
Anglophone.
face to face. So she is bigger than anybody in our territory with Pobia. She's bigger than the prime minister. You need her approval to become something as an
Hmm.
Ambazonian. So we caught this lady was arrested by our soldiers with the help of family members and people who were around her who monitor her and make sure that she was arrested. And everybody have hope that now that somebody like this have been arrested, she will pay for her crimes, and
Yeah.
it will set an example for all other Amazonians who are enabling or collaborating with the colonial administration to know that they cannot do so with impunity. And she was tried properly, she was convicted and sentenced, and our people were told. And instead of wasting her life, the governing council made a political decision to do prisoner swap. Our prisoners were highlighted, and all those things happened, and people had their hope very high. And out of a sudden, she was not rescued. She break out. She was broken out. The right word is break out. She broke out of our custody, and like the Republic of Cameroon, they took her back. So our people they feel very betrayed, like they had their hopes that somehow they will feel some justice. And people have cried. I mean, people in Ground Zero they have cried, that mommy.
Mm.
But
I swear, me too,
somehow
I
I
cried.
think that our people should know
Capo,
that
you
we did
remember
not
that I called you for that. I keep calling you, ask you. Say what, yes, when I
I,
learned.
a priest in Boya, a Catholic priest who used to advise me. He will always send me messages, small messages. He never talked very deeply. But when that woman came out, that priest suddenly sent me a message. I am disappointed in you. And I was so shocked. I said, a priest who is sending me this, that means that even in their heart, they also wanted to see that this woman should go down.
A
So
lot of people that you think that
yeah,
they're
but
not in the
what happened is
revolution.
Ambazonian people, our people should understand that we are credible. We have a good record with our people to manage state affairs. This woman, God knows how he does his thing. There was order given that she should be executed. The commander on the ground had received the order and they had made preparation and ready to execute her. But the day that they launched that attack against in our place, they had the first contact. They called us. So we were up 24 hours. They called and said, this is the situation. What should we do? And the instruction was that came from the leadership back to the forces was follow the protocol. That means carry out the execution. But
Yeah.
the letter attached to it was a message attached to it. If she could be removed safely and transported into a safe place, because we had already made program that if they attack that place, what are we going to do? We already prepare for that. If that plan B can work, then carry out with plan B. So there was two instructions that was sent that the first time. They
Yes, time.
decided
Yeah.
but that decision is on them on the ground to decide, not us, not the leadership. So they could
Yeah.
carry out the
Because I
execution
already gave it to
or
them.
they
Yeah.
should transport her to another place. They
Yeah.
successfully transfer her to the second place. A team that was there held that ground. So after they moved they moved to the second place. She collapsed on the way. They did not reach. She first broke her leg. She collapsed there. They stayed there till morning. So they now reach second contact. Communication came in again. They contact again and they say, this is the situation. We were worried. We did not know where they were. We lost track of them. So they make the second communication and they say, this is the situation. This is her leg. We say, okay, make video. Surprisingly, La Republic did not even cut off internet like people were thinking. They cut off internet and the jam phone in Pinyin where the operation started. But in that in Ashong, there was still internet. Even though without internet, we still have our means of connection. We have satellite phones. But there was still internet. We saw her. So I can assure Ambazonian that there was no game. We saw her. She was there. She could not walk. She was injured. Two of our soldiers had light injuries. One was a bullet wound, but it was light, not something that could worry. It was stable. So we saw the situation. They were now making arrangement. Should we send another team to join them there and accompany them to the new side, to the side where they were supposed to go, the safe house, or should they manage to carry her there? That was the question that the leadership had. The
Yeah.
leadership sent instruction according to that situation at that moment. I will not give you the details. It's not my place to say. They
Yeah.
sent
No.
instructions.
Mm-hmm.
A second
Mm-hmm.
attempt was made now to carry her and go there, and another team had moved to meet not in that particular location, but it's a second location. They had attacked. Their location
Oh.
was discovered. We don't know how. Maybe it was a drone. We are not sure. They did not see any drone, but their location was known. They came under fire, but they succeed
Oh.
to go almost halfway in the valley. You can see the maps there very well. They went in the valley where you see the rescue. They came and break her out. They were carrying her on that hill. It was down in that valley where the second incident happened. On the second place, she collapsed because in that gun battle, one of our soldiers received a bullet wound that was serious. So because of that situation, they stopped there again and she collapsed. She
Mm.
was unconscious.
Conscious. Okay. She
The
couldn't walk.
instruction, both from the leadership that is out of the country and the leadership that is on the ground, was that execution should be carried out. At that stage, we were informed that execution will be carried out.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. And that would
yeah,
have been better.
the leadership on the ground also who was not around that area, they had made that decision that execution should be carried out. And out of a sudden, we hear it was about few hours that La Republic was saying that they have rescued her.
Rescue her.
We could
Yeah.
not reach the team. The other team that was supposed to meet them, we could not meet them. Our spies that were on the ground could not see her with La Republic. La Republic action was still going on, but they make a publication that they have rescued her.
They have
We think
rescued
that
her. Yes.
That time we were not sure because we were thinking it was still fluid. We know that La Republic did not have her when they make the announcement. We know that they just know where she was. They did not have her. So we made a statement. I made a public statement to assure the people that the situation is ongoing. But there were some
Yeah.
irresponsible people
Yeah.
who were making posts that La Republic already have had her, the ADF had lost her.
That's when I
And it was giving La
thought.
Republic idea because they were still searching for
Yes.
her. They were still searching
Yes.
for her. They were also playing mind games. And they probably, maybe they knew our communication, they were tapping it or not, but they probably know that we did not know where she was. And they wanted us to give up the team that was coming there, the
The
backup team, to give
teamwork,
up.
the search, yeah,
They also had
yeah.
a backup team. La Republic also had a backup team.
No,
So they had backup team, we had backup team. It was a
backup.
standoff. And we were not, the team that was there, they could not reach out to us with phone,
And
their satellite
yes,
phone call was out. So that is how it is. Eventually, they left that place and they came out, and the leadership call us and tell us, man, she's not there. She's not with us. And we asked the commander what happened, and he said that he could not do it. He could not do it,
yeah, he
and
could
why?
not. He looked at
He was
her. Yeah,
unconscious. And
yeah,
they say we have to take the team to interrogation and debriefing, and they were asked specific questions like, why did you not execute? Like,
do
you
it.
have everything
Yeah.
there, you have two soldiers who are
Mm-hmm.
wounded, and the bullets were going on, so you cannot say that if you shoot they will hear where you are. They were already fighting
Mm-hmm.
was going on there. So he says that he could not follow protocol because to execute is not like committing murder or assassination. You need to read you need to read the crimes and tell the person you are being killed because you have
Yes,
committed
this
so and
because
so
of
and so and
this.
so crime.
Yes.
Yes, so, and then they
Yeah.
execute you. Otherwise, it will be
Okay.
killing. It will not be his conscience. Will not be
Yes.
able to carry it. So it makes sense for us. And then
Understandable.
we say, okay, we
Understandable.
not,
Yeah. Now
she was not
understandable.
blamed. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I think, but
Mm-hmm.
somehow when I watch that lady after she was when she broke out from our custody, taken back to the airport in Bamenda, flew into the airport in Bamenda, what she said was very, very striking. She said that there is real war. What she has seen is real war. And for me, that shows that there is a
Let them know.
message that has been given.
Yes.
That this woman who was
Yes.
untouchable, she has seen that La
Yes.
Republic protect her. And there was one other lady
Mm-hmm.
there who was also arrested by our soldiers. Is a suspect of black leg or something like that. She was also break out of our custody by La Republic. There were two people who were break out of our custody. La Republic is lying that there was a pregnant woman. There was no pregnant woman there. So there were just two of them that were
Just
rescued. She was rescued in a different location, and she was rescued in a different location. So, but I think that her reaction, and she didn't stay in Bamenda. She had to run away from Bamenda to
fly.
Yaoundé to those
Yeah.
people. She
Flew
had
her to
a story
Yaoundé.
to tell, and she is not free. She's a convicted criminal. She will be rearrested if we have the chance. But she has a unique opportunity to reflect on her
To go
life
and
and
tell.
see that the
Yes.
second chance that God has given her. If we were
Yes.
criminals, if we were people who are doing things with anger, she will not be alive today.
Yes. That's true.
She will not be alive today. So
That's
let
true.
her. The church have been praying for her. Christians call me and we talk about it. And I know her personally. I know her personally. I grew up knowing her, and I know her children. When I was talking to her when she was in custody, she was really shy. She know my name. They used to call me Imabobo. She said,
Mm.
"Hey, my pikin, hey, use your high office, use
Don't
your
change.
high office and intervene because she was use
Well,
your high office and intervene." And I really
yeah.
felt pity for her, and I tell her, "Mommy,
Yeah.
no worry, we will follow justice for you.
Mm-hmm.
We must make sure say make something happen for you. If you not deserve them, they will follow your case. They will investigate them. But you know what you do, and you say no. For you for making
No.
me fine, just talk your truth. If you don't go with that senate way, you know for your heart. That woman is very intelligent. She knows everything. She knows
As
all
old
of
as
us
she is, she
very well.
still
Yeah.
remember
And
new
she asked
things.
for mercy. At the end, when she realized that this was not a joke, You know, these people, they don't really take us serious. But when she realized that this is it, she went through trial and it could end her life. She realized it, and then she humbled herself.
Humble
She
herself.
she cried. She realized that she was accepting that job as a senator. It was not. It was a betrayal. She really come to face with her crimes. So I hope her going through all those things will make a difference in how she continue, if God give her the chance to live. And God being the type of person that he is, nobody knows. But I think
Mm-hmm.
Ambazonia should take solace in that even though this woman did not die, she had the chance to face us who represent
Us,
the
yes.
Ambazonian people. Through
Mm-hmm.
us, that woman was confronted with the crimes of treason, with the crimes of enabling, genocide, in the face of killings of over 30,000. And she break down and she said that, and I beg for mercy. That should be
Well,
what our people should take from this experience.
mm-hmm.
At least
Mm-hmm.
somebody who have betrayed them have been faced with the reality, and that
Be
person
faced with
begged for
death,
mercy.
with reality. Yes. So what is
Yes.
going on? Maybe she did not realize. She refused. She was refused that there was nothing going on like this. And then when he got the
Yes.
reality, she got the reality. Now she knows what she's going to take there and tell her master, Pobia.
Yes.
Tell those people. Say these people are serious. I believe she would say that. You know.
That money,
And
she will
then
now
knowing
know
that.
that that money that she have
Yes.
means nothing. She will know now that the
Yeah.
gendarmes, the D's means nothing. Her conscience
You
should
can
tell
become
her
like
the truth.
this. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Has let me ask you, has the War Council provided a provided new training to the Amazonian Defense Force on how to handle situation like this better in the future?
Oh, definitely things will change, but it is still in the working because you know you are dealing with people's
Okay.
life, and there are
Mm,
many unintended consequences when we send instructions. But if you listen from the president of the governing council, Dr. Cho, he has made it very clear that things will not be the same. They will have to expedite the processes. And you remember he was the one, his office was the one that came out and said that let's make a political decision because he had the power as the president of the governing council to make that to
mm-hmm.
call the shot. And I think it has affected his the way he looks at things, and his instructions will be different, and our
Mm-hmm.
leadership on the ground as well. But in terms of new
Mm,
training on procedure and stuff like that, nothing have come out yet. But definitely the institution will take its time, and they will definitely change the rules on how these things are done. Because definitely this time
okay.
it failed for our people.
Yeah, it did. It did indeed. Indeed. We understand that the vice president, Dr. Ni Julius, and his team were working in the background to negotiate prisoners' release with the La Republique in exchange for Mundi. Did Cameroon stalled or slowed down this process in order to gain time and execute the rescue operation?
I would rather ask that you request you that you call it a breakout. It's not because
Okay,
for us
breakout. Let's
we
say
are representing our state. It's not rescue because
the
that's for the
breakout.
La Republic. They
Okay,
will call it that way. For us,
okay, to say
it was the
rescue.
breakout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
The thing
The,
is, yes, Dr. Julius Nee, the vice president, was engaged in serious
mm,
negotiation with the international communities and many state parties who showed interest in this matter. And most of them, they approached the governing council. It was not the other way around. And through this engagement, La République du Cameroon have shown that they have no feeling at all when it comes to Ambazonians. Their life do not matter for them. They would rather see them die than coming to pay money or trying to do prisoners. Sorry, not coming to pay money. That was a mistake, not a slip of a tongue. Yeah, they would rather see their people die, our people who work with them die, rather than even considering prisoner swaps. At no stage in that negotiation did La République du Cameroon accept to consider it. That means they did not even accept to consider it. But the
Mm.
process was going on nevertheless, because now you have foreign governments who are now coming to meet La Republique and telling them that these people are asking for this. That in itself is a big victory for us. You also have international organization, not the state party. They were calling Pobia and tell Pobia, this woman is a woman. She's a senator, and we are, maybe I'm just giving an example. You don't want to put that information out
Mm-hmm.
there. Maybe they say we are the
Mm-hmm.
Commonwealth, and your country is supposed to be a member of the Commonwealth. We care about your senators. These people are asking for a release of somebody that was considered as illegally arrested from Nigeria, and he's also an old man. Making all this. So, what do you say, Mr. Pobia? And for Pobia to pretend that like he was running away from Cameroon, going to hospital, he was hiding to receive them,
Which was received them,
and it
yeah, to
was a
talk.
big statement because these people now going through that also, the international communities can see that Pobia is somebody who is mentally not sound. He's somebody who is a psychopath. He's a killer. He's a cold-blooded, selfish person who do not even care for people who betray their kingsmen to serve him. So they know that, and for us, that is a point. It's a point worth our energy. It's a point worth what we went through.
Wow. Wow. Well, number fourth question. With the assignment that the War Council has done, I hope they have what direct or indirect roles did enablers, blacklegs, spies play in this rescue operation by La Republique. You reported that the Cameroon armies passed through Pinin village, or maybe they come through the Mezam toll gate in Menka village and drove through Pinin. A lot of Francophones or Ambazonians buyers from Douala, Bafoussam, and Yaoundé come to Santa Menka village and Pinin to buy potatoes, vegetables, and at the same time collect intelligence from the Cameroon armies. By the way, ACN TV has received information about the certain woman around Tombel who goes around buying oranges or fruits during the harvest season, and she is a big time spy reporting the location and operation of true liberation fighters. Is it possible that spy in the form of traders coming into our royal communities could have supplied information to La Republique armies on how to get the location where Mundi was detained pending an execution of the decision of the military tribunal under the War Council. Under the War Council?
Yeah, it is possible, and I hope that the ACN crew should send that forward that information to the Defense Department so that it should be taken care of.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we had
Na La
successfully
Republique.
held this woman for 1 month, and during that period, there were some movement on the ground. La Republique had removed 15 trucks into how they call it in around Basi near Gozang. We were monitoring that those troops there, and eventually they were trying to use them for backup. And then they had also moved in forces around that Menka area where they are talking about. All those areas they had
Mhm.
come in there with even up to Pining there. They had over 25 trucks that came in during that week. But before that, they had tried to launch attack in some of the areas we control in Chomba. So at that time, we had given them wrong signals. We have given them decoy. So we knew that they were preparing for an attack in the wrong places. We had do all our evasive things, and we knew that they could not know where that woman was. They couldn't know. But they had succeeded, from what we know now, to work with the local chief. There is a chief there. We have put out the name of that chief. They work with him, and we know the military person of that village who led them into that village. So we know them. They could have some
But
intel that we don't know,
mhm.
but we know the people that brought them there because they were identified on the ground. We have very solid intelligence. But this was not a
Don't
work
we
of
mind those
Black Leg
roads?
alone.
Like mind those roads so that when we see them, to mind those roads, that when you know that those roads are there, I know that our people are passing there, but if you mind, I don't know how the mind thing works. Is it not
Yeah, but
when you
the
see
thing is that
somebody that
the
you
night
set
where
it
they
on?
struck, where they launched that operation at that night from Pining
Mhm.
there were so many of them. There were so many from Pining. Every area where they go and people came out or they meet people, they catch them, gather them, and put them together. I think the people can testify.
Oh,
They hold them together so that people will not make phone call. So they gather people
yes.
there, jam line. There were no
Wow.
internet and phone call in Pining area during that period. So it
Mm,
was a fast
okay.
rush to that area before they carry out the
Yes.
operation. So they we it
Wow.
was a matter of, it's a war, We also
They,
succeed
they, they, they,
sometimes.
too, they
They
trying.
succeed sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're trying ahead of
But we
us. They're
think that
trying
it
to,
was
they put,
we think that we made a mistake. The only place we saw that we made a mistake was when some of our soldiers arrested somebody in Gozang who was driving a car on a ghost town day, and somehow they went there for a mission to deliver bullets. They were that area was not controlled by them,
oh,
so they took that vehicle. They want to drive that vehicle. It fair brakes and hits two kids. So when our
oh,
general heard about it, he was very touched and very moved.
yes,
And that is an area where we are working very hard with the community. He decided to go there. So he drove
yeah,
one vehicle that was involved in logistic with that lady out of the secured areas into Gozang. We believe that was when he was now being tracked, because that was the only error we made. So when that vehicle came back, they probably were monitoring that vehicle. We don't know how. But they had local people to help them navigate their way. We know that one for sure. But the way they attacked that location, they were sure about that area, but not the particular place we were holding her.
particular
We
place
were
where the
sure they
woman
didn't.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't know. They don't know where that woman was being held. They don't know. The house that they attacked and burned was a decoy. I can assure you they did not. They did not. They didn't get where she was. So
Okay.
we removed her from the place because that decoy place was attacked, and we held that ground still. So we know, we have a very good idea about what happened and what could possibly happen. We cannot know
The-
everything, but we
Those
are
La
sure of.
Republic, the Republic people said they took some cars. They confiscated some of your cars. Where is it true or is it a lie? The ADF cars,
They
truck.
no the one of our truck. They did not succeed.
Yeah.
That's why I say that
Okay.
people don't understand what happened. There is the place where that Mrs. Mundi car was. There was a house
Mm.
there. That house, we have seen that house in many videos. When General Efang visit that village, he comes out of the barracks, he goes to the town, he goes to that house, he uses it like an office. We use it like the office of our transitional authority. He meets people, they have
Mm.
meetings there. The car was parked there, and that house was prepared like a decoy. That is the house where
Okay.
one woman
Okay.
that was arrested was kept inside. She was rescued from that
Everything.
house. The car was
Okay.
Miss Mundi car was in that house. It was a decoy. We made it to look like that is where she is, but that was not where she was. Then after that place, go inside again. That was where our car was. The car that they could pick up. But they did not reach there
Mm.
because they were also afraid. There was heavy gunfire there. They could not go there. They couldn't reach at that side. But at one point, they were almost at that point. But I think they realized that probably they cannot get there, or
Okay.
they had seen, they knew that we had
Say
removed her
something
from
that
there.
she wasn't there. Yeah.
Yes, then they withdraw back. But they did not use grenades. They didn't put on fire there till morning. So that is what happened. They did not capture our vehicle. They captured the area. They captured her
Mm,
vehicle, the area where our vehicle was. I think it has some
mm.
bullet wound, hole of bullets from the fighting, but they did not capture it.
Okay. Uh, let's get let's set let us set some record straight here. A military tribunal is an exquisitorial system based on charges brought by military authorities, prosecuted by military authority, judged by military officers, and sentenced by military officers against a number of an an enemy army or country during time of declared wartime, or rebellions. However, military tribunals are sometimes used by to try individuals not affiliated with the particular state's military or who are nonetheless accused of being combatant and acting in violation of the law of war. Mundi Regina is a civilian. I'm not an active combatant, but affiliated with Paul Biya, who is the commander in chief of the Cameroon army. Mundi is now a free woman, but on exile in Cameroon. It is possible that she may speak to the public or write a book about the details of what happened to her. Is the War Council concerned about the process, procedure, and the manner in which the trial was conducted? Is the War
I
Council
think it's the
concerned?
no, we are not concerned at all. I think we've done our job with honesty. We follow our protocol, and we are sure that it meets up with international standard. You know, in the military, during the time of war, and there is issue of treason, there is issue of active combatant, and the military can actually step aside and put you in a court martial. But in terms
Yeah.
of handling people who have committed high treason, high treason is a category of crime that is very serious, and the military tribunal can sit and make that determination. It is not a civil trial, so it's a military trial conducted by the Defense Department, by defense official, handled by the War Council, supervised by the War Council. So we have done our job, and history will examine it. But I think we have pretty much done our job. It was examined closely. It wasn't done haphazardly, but it was done properly.
Okay, another question. Attack on school and hospital during conflict is one of the six grave violations identified and condemned by the UN Security Council under international humanitarian law. Both schools and hospitals are protected civilians objects and therefore benefits from the humanitarian principles of distinctions and proportionality. The Manfi Hospital was burned down into ash. Who are those responsible for those actions? If you have any primary findings, what could be done? What could be the objective of burning down the hospital? What could be the objective of burning down the hospital? Yeah, that hospital.
Yeah, I want to say that this is a very sad time. This is not the first hospital that have been attacked and burned, and this was done in the heart of the great state of Manu in Mamfe, Bisongabang, and we
Yeah.
have carried out investigation. Investigation is still ongoing. I must inform our people it's still ongoing, but we have a very good preliminary information that have come out of our investigation. According to the people we have spoken to, we have spoken to the to patients who were in the hospital. We have spoken to first civilians who responded to the fire and helped to put out the fire. We have spoken to all the fighters that are around that area to get their position on what happened, to have the narration of what happened. We have people who are still conducting the investigation. And from our investigation, this is we found. From the people who were in the hospital, they were asked to come out by men who were carrying guns and were dressed with civilian clothing. They removed them out systematically. They were shooting guns around the hospital when that was going on. After they set the hospital on fire, and it was written on that hospital, "Man na man." And these are all
Man,
strange phenomena. Man na man.
yeah. The who did
So
who can
they want to write that it is they want to it's like it's a stage something trying
mm,
to show like it was done by Amazonian fighters. We are investigating it to make
I
sure
don't
that it
think
was not
so.
done by
I
Amazonian
don't think
fighters, but we are sure that it was done by the Cameroon military, and this is
so.
the reasons why. These are the reasons why. There is a Cameroon army camp in Bisongabang there, not far from this location.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm,
from this hospital, this district hospital, there was a mixed patrol that can be seen from that hospital ground. Patients we have spoken to saw the
yeah.
military patrol. The people that came to turn off the fire saw the military patrol. It is not possible that Amazonian fighters will come in the heart
Then
of Manfe
military.
in Bisongabang,
Yes.
remove
Yes.
patients out of, pass over all those roadblocks, remove patients out of the
What?
hospital, while shooting guns in the air, and the Cameroon joint patrol. Let's say the Cameroon army camp is far. The army camp will hear gunshot, they will mobilize themselves and intervene. There is a Cameroon mixed patrol in eyesight from that hospital. They decided not to come. They stay there until that fire have engulfed that hospital, and then they come around when the people have gone. So for us, it is clear that this is a staged attack, and one of the reasons that it was done by the Cameroon military is that you had uh, Doctors Without Borders who were operating in that area. They were used to help everybody, including our soldiers, when they meet them in the forest who have wounds, and they treat the local people. The Cameroon government do not want that. They have kicked out
You know
Doctors
one that.
Without Borders.
Yes.
And this hospital is the only facility where their staff members and their hospital facility provide help and medical care to the people in that area, including our soldiers. So it is part of the Cameroon government is part of their campaign to deny our
That's it.
soldiers
Man
and
and man.
communities that are sympathetic to our
Yeah.
soldiers this medical facility. So we believe the Cameroon government destroy this hospital just like it takes away the
Man
Medecins
and man.
Sans Frontières, the Doctors Without Borders away from Manfred. So we know for sure that it is a Cameroon military based on the information we have so far. Everything shows that it's Cameroon military. But when we will finish conducting our investigation, we are going to come back to the public and give a comprehensive report of what happened, timeline. But right now, I
Mm.
can assure our people that this is something that was done by the Cameroon military men dressed in casual wear to mimic Amazonian fighters. They even go and ride. Which Amazonian fighter will go and burn a house and ride your
Well,
neck there
I
in the
know.
war? Yeah, it has
Uh-huh.
never happened like that. So we know that people, when you stage a crime, you try to make it to look like
And even
somebody
the
that.
writing, what he's saying, you can tell that maybe that's a francophone because I don't even see it.
Yeah,
It
it's so
makes no
perfect. The
sense.
writing is like they tell them to
Yes.
write there, and then they want to write
Yes.
so perfectly. Amazonian
Yes.
fighters have time to carry pens.
Hmm. Okay, let's turn our attention to finance. Dr. Cho Ayaba announced a couple of days that the cabinet will be responsible for mobilizing funds for the liberation on June 25th, 2022. Why should some still commit financially into this liberation by give to EGOFC after the Mundi incident? Convince Amazonians and our sympathizer why they need to give much more this time. Convince them, yeah,
We
because
are,
a
I think
lot
we,
of a lot of people are disappointed about that Miss Mundi. It's terrible.
yes,
But
they are right to
yes,
be, and they can take consolation from the fact that we are also disappointed.
yeah, yeah,
We can never be perfect, but the Ambazonian
yeah,
Governing Council have the right vision, it has the right mission, it has the right mandate, as our statement says. Our people don't have a choice. We are the only institutions that have built a command and control of over our forces and have bring discipline on the ground, and we are capable of enforcing laws and really making sure that there is discipline, and also to extend a general code of conduct to other forces. Where our organization have been able to create an alternative in terms of school for our people, so that they can have schools while we boycott and ban Cameroon government schools within our territory. We are the most organized, structured organization to be accountable to our people and make sure that we can self-regulate. When problems happen or we make mistakes, we can always be trusted that we can do the right things in the future. So our Ambazonian people can continue to trust us that even in our mistake, we admit our mistake. We don't try to
yeah,
cover up. We are a credible organization. We are the only organization that have failed in something and
exactly.
come out and admit that we have failed in something.
Yes,
And they should have their trust in us. Our leadership is solid, is strong. It takes more than just shooting guns to win a war. It takes a well organized institution that can guarantee the international community and should be a guarantee
support.
to our people that what they will get from independence through the Ambazonian Governing Council is what they are actually yearning for, is what they're actually fighting for.
That's good. That's already sold me to give money, more money. Okay, let me the last, but it's not the least that I'm gonna ask you. I know we've been here for long, but let me just ask you this. Since you are the spokesperson of the AGOFC, do you have any other information, announcement, or press release to present to Ambazonians and the international community as we round up?
Yes, our forces in Bamenda have arrested one La République du Cameroon military who disguised himself as a bike rider. You guys have heard, we have
Wow.
talked about it many times. And this is his picture. I can show it here so people can see.
No, this
So
way, this way. Yeah, bring it towards you again. Yeah, like
that is
that. Mm.
that is picture.
That was a
He has been
military
arrested.
man.
Yes, that's a Cameroon military man. It's a B.
Then he was he
He
was
was
he was doing like a bike rider, like
yes,
a
in
killer.
Bamenda. He was dressed
Wow.
like he was driving around like a bike rider, and through our
Like a killer.
intelligence sources,
Uh,
we intercepted him, and he has confessed. He's the second Cameroon military person that have been picked up in Bamenda in this manner. I want our people to know that we are doing
wow.
a very good job. We have a very strong team. And I want to also tell our people about the issue of garbage collecting in Bamenda. We have now resolved it, and we have permitted a local Bamenda company to carry trash. People would have noticed they are doing it now already in Bamenda. It's the second day. We could not talk about it yesterday because we wanted the news of the attack by no pity to circulate. So we want to tell our people that we have also permitted that trash to be carried by this company. It's a Bamenda local company. It's not long term yet. We will continue to monitor the situation, but we have really, it's a big victory for Mambazonia. We don't have a Zekam
Yeah.
doing the job. Now Ambamenda people, Ambazonians are now doing the job, and this should be replicated all across Ambazonia territory. So our people should stand strong. When we put out policy like that, you have internal opposition. They come so harsh on us, but they should always understand that we have what it takes. We have proper. We know what we are doing.
Well, brothers, Capo, DDC, I thank you very much, very, very much for to come on my show, Papa. God bless you for everything that you are doing. We are behind you 100%. A true Amazonian and a perfect man for the job. I thank you very much. I thank you. I'll talk to you later and good night, Papa.
Thanks,
Good
God.
night.
Thanks.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you. Okay, Ambazonians on the ground, Mommy and Papa, I just want to thank you all. I've been here with your DDC, Capo Daniel. I'm so happy, so blessed to interview him. And you've learned a lot from him. He's opened his heart to you people to tell you what it is and what he is going through and what they are doing. So this is your time to stand behind him. Forget about what other people are saying. Just stand behind him, follow ACNC, ACN TV, because that is the right TV, will tell you, will educate you, so you know everything that is happening with us Ambazonians. So thank you all, the soldiers that are fighting for us. Thank you, my mothers that are helping our military boys. Thank all of you. Thank you, no pity. I say congratulations for what your people do. Unity Warriors, please. I am so proud of you. We are so proud. We Ambazonians. We are so proud. Carry on. Carry on. Yes. Yes. And our motto is please, 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 you pray for me and I will pray for you. And that is the Ambazonian way. We pray for each other. And God bless Ambazonian. Good night. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Najella, 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 who's fighting for freedom? Najella, from southern to northern zone. Najella, Mama Amazonia.